What's going on, guys? TalkAstonVilla here, back for another match review, and this is the Aston Villa versus Arsenal match review that finished 5-0 to the Gunners at the Emirates Stadium. Obviously, the earliest kickoff today out of the two fixtures, and wow, we're absolutely fucked if this continues. But anyways, guys, I went to Twitter like I always do, at TalkAstonVilla is the place to find me to get your thoughts right out post-match, and my phone was going off for the last 45 minutes after the game. Great interactivity, albeit the circumstances, so I'll read out the best ones. I'm sorry I can't get them all of them, but literally I've recorded this twice now, and the first one, it took me 6 minutes to read them all. That's how many there were. So we'll go from here, at HarryCara22 saying we are beyond a joke now, embarrassing. At Maisie4 AVFC saying if Lambert doesn't go soon, we're relegated. Simple as that. At Matthew_Day saying no, we're lucky that this is the weakest bottom half prem in years, which will probably mean we'll limp over the line. I was asking people if we're doomed with the season. A lot of you guys agreed. Next we have at Villa Till I Die saying apart from Heel and Delph, the team is lacking in confidence, and one man is to blame. Over to you, Mr. Fox. Time for Lambert to go. At James the Mac, I'm saying, Lambert, how is he still employed? You've got a good team on paper, but something has to be right. Hasn't been right. Or you're going to be relegated if we don't do something. Someone saying to sack the prick. I'll leave it at that. Just didn't say prick. It said something much worse, but I won't say that. At Eaton Drew saying, if it wasn't for the great start for the season, imagine where we'd be. Can't see us anywhere but the championship. At the Villans voice saying, just awful. Majority of the players didn't even look merely up for it, particularly Sanchez. We have nothing going forward. He also says, I fear this is the year where we don't get lucky. In fact, we almost deserve relegation. Bold words there. Danny Statter saying, aside from Delph and Heel, no one looked interested. Sloppy play. Benteke was awful in defensive shambles. I'll add on there, Benteke doesn't look interested. Going on to the Villain's voice perspective, Sanchez didn't look really interested at all. Benteke's been very lazy as of late. A lot of people complain and say we're not giving him the service, but he's also not making the spaces essentially to move and get chances. He had a good chance at the opening minutes of the second half, but besides that, what did he really offer? There is no support going forward, so I can understand, but at the same time, it's a 50-50 in my opinion. At Connor_Stevens saying Lambert and Lerner have poisoned the club, doomed for relegation. I also asked you guys to say what you would rate the game in 5 words. Very, very shit. Welcome to the championship, Villa, an absolute pile of shite. Needs to be right now. Well, that was fucking dreadful. Lambert, the club record breaker. Who the hell are we, Villa? And we'll get to the last few here. I'll wrap it up here. At Mickey C_1234, unacceptable again. Go 2 down and capitulate again. Not acceptable. On to Chelsea next week. Villa Till I Die _UTV. Let's go up here for the very last one. I want to read this one. Oh, if I can find it. At You Got Lit Up saying, we won't get sacked though, pal. We're the only club in the league that tolerate how bad we are. And that's why I want to leave it. Thanks for your comments and all that kind of stuff. That's one I want to leave it with mainly because it's one of those things that Lerner's not interested, so we're fucked. And with that being in the case of that, who's in to step up and say Lambert has to go, it's enough. The problem with this game was we had 5 or 6 people up the pitch, and Arsenal found it so easy to rip us apart because it was counter after counter after counter on the first 3 goals, if not the 4. And really, in the first 5 minutes, we had major problems. We had Corey and Clark not really communicating. Corey was going up, making some great tackles, and Clark wasn't making the shift in behind him if runs were coming in behind Corey to back him up. That's the problem. Chemistry between those two today was non-existent like other games. It's great if we're keeping clean sheets, but we're also not scoring. You have to look at it that perspective too. So it kind of makes me wonder what we're going to do going forward. It's dark times, I'd say. And the last thing I'll say about this, that switch for Bon Lahore and Sinclair coming on with the 60th minute after 3-0, that had to be made at halftime when it was 1-0, when we had chances, when the Arsenal faithful were very quiet, when the stadium was quiet and our fans were giving their hearts out. That's when we had to make that change. Sinclair looks like he'll be a decent signing for the rest of the season, but it's also one of those things that if we're going to make late substitutions, not put in a good shift defensively, and just leave our 4 defenders, if not have 1 defender go up the pitch and join the attack and only have 3, then we're fucked. I feel bad for Guza, and him kicking the post for me expressed it all after the 5th goal, and I'm just going to leave it at that because I don't want to get too much negative. I know it's a negative thing. I know where we are. I know I could say that you can go on for another 20 minutes, but really, what's the point? Leave your thoughts in the comments below what you thought of the game. Do you think we're doomed? Also, explain in 5 words how you'd say this game as a Villa fan. Arsenal fans, get your perspective too, and I'll see you guys for the next video. Peace out.